A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the L.A. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Chargers much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's third down. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. On third down, Cousins.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Now we're first and 10 at the 11. Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Wilson wants a different look. They're not liking the look. They'll change the play.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Here comes third down at 7.
Cousins to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
Oh, they're changing this at the line.
And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers 1st down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Austin Eckler, the intended target.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They go play action with Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant.
And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Up the middle with Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. Whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Another run now for Nwangu. A tackle made by J.T. Woods. The Vikings at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Cousins now.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Oh, a design run for their wideout. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
K.J. Osborne
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Vikings are back within a score. This feels like something we'd see more commonly, CD, in a college game. They give it to the receiver down here in the red zone, but it winds up successful.
Yeah, partner, I think you think it's less likely to find running space to the edge down here close to the end zone where things are so condensed. But a lot of times you end up focusing on the running backs, and they're able to slip it to the receiver, and it resulted in a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
It's Eckler again. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9. Throwing is Wilson. A little short pass. This is Everett. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now they go with a 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 52 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
1st down, Chargers.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a gain of 20. And the Chargers 1st down.
In motion right is Davis. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Here's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Second down, Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. KJ Osborne. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want to let their return guy touch it.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Wilson. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back in the back 7, phenomenal.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football. And down after a short pickup. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Charger drive about to get going.
This offense ready for the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
A little short pass. This is Everett. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Man open left side. It's Williams. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's second down. To throw is Wilson. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's another typical season for Williams last year. Big-time playmaking and also an injury that kept him off the field for a few games. Still, put up just under 900 yards to lead Los Angeles, and he picks up the first with that catch.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And just shedding him off there. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Wilson. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And out of bounds right around the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Now a give running left is Eckler. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Eckler. But now he appears to be in some pain. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they take a 17-14 lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Hey, Ringo, 48.
To throw is Cousins. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. He got 29 yards that time.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Nwangu going to get it on the counter.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Chargers' 36-yard line.
Hey, Steamer. Listen to me. Hey, Ken.
Cousins.
That's down the field for Jefferson. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Intercepted by the Chargers. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A quick throw there out to Williams. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
14.
They run with a fourth-round pick, Rashawn Johnson.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Second and 7 from the 20.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 15-yard line. This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3.
And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Johnson will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Chargers 24, Vikings 14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back up.
And my goodness, another interception.
He's on his way.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the... done so quite well.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the foot.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6.
And the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Vikings 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins.
Drops this off with Nwangu.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Here's 2nd and 10.
On play action, Cousins.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. What's that?
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
57 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
First down, Los Angeles.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Wilson wants to throw it.
Out to the flat here for Johnson.
And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Pitches it to Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the gun, it's Wilson. A desperation heave for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Osborne. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
3rd down and 1.
Throwing is Cousins.
Pass taken in by his...
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. One last shot now for Cousins.
He lets one go deep for Addison.
And this is going to be caught. So a defensive final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. The extra point here is good, but the late touchdown can only draw the score a bit closer as this game is over.
So it's a win here for the L.A. Chargers, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So for the Chargers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.